Well, according to Brad Howell, a lot of West Virginia fans have absolutely bought season tickets for the Ohio game that is oh so close to Morgantown. It is a takeover in Athens.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host, and this is Locked On West Virginia, baby, where we're talking about the Mountaineers again today on the football side of things, and we're happy to do it. Really excited, man, about this weekend's game. Football is finally back, guys. I am so glad of it. Brought to you by FanDuel, of course. Football season is around the corner. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your future bets now. But I'm not alone, guys. I've had a codependency issues this week. I've had to have people on every day. But no, in all seriousness, somebody that's been really super nice to me. I had me on his show last week, and he is somebody that is a unique character that I enjoy talking to. So Jackson Johnson with the Voice of College Football Alabama's channel and also the Jacksonian Show. What's up, my dude?
Oh, man, it's going very well. I'm just staying away from what's left of this Bama heat. How you doing today, good buddy?
Yeah. Are you talking about outside or are you talking about something else?
Oh, outside.
Okay. I thought you was talking about Kalen DeBoer.
We one game. It's not week 11. It's only week 1.
That's true. That's definitely true. And Florida State could be a lot better than people realize. Which some people think that. So, all right, guys. So obviously we got to jump right into this here. We're going to talk about West Virginia, the takeover at Ohio, possibly. What would that look like? How much would it benefit the Mountaineers and all that? Then in week 2, we're gonna pick some games in around the Big 12 this week, including West Virginia, Ohio, and then we'll wrap it up in segment 3. But Jackson, man, I'll toss it to you right away. Could this be a road game, home game for the Mountaineers, but it's being so close to Morgantown? And how much of a benefit would that be to a team going on the road, but actually not really being – it's more neutral site than anything, right? I mean, it's probably almost never happens.
Oh, it's a humongous benefit for the West Virginia Mountaineers, especially when they're coming off a mid-year in 2024. They're going to be like coming back to awesomeness with Rich Rod. Maybe not right away, but I think this is the first sign of awesomeness in the second era of the Rich Rod era. When you got Mountaineer fans just taking over the place over in Ohio as Mountaineer Nation is going up against Ohio. And let me tell you something, that's going to be a wild ride. And it's a much needed win because like Ohio kind of looks like a trap game for West Virginia. After what we saw against Rutgers on Thursday night, you get on Ohio's bad side, they'll try to mess you up like a chicken nugget, man. I don't want to get on their bad side. So that's why West Virginia's got to be thinking about them because if they're not, Ohio's going to try to be giving them that L before they play Pitt next week.
That's for sure. And a couple of Ohio players you were looking into before we jumped on the broadcast. You'd mentioned Parker Navarro. What were your thoughts on the quarterback?
Oh, man, dude's a baller. He was having a ballroom blitz against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. I mean, 3 touchdowns, 21 of 31 completed passes, and 239 passing yards. Like, dude had some pretty good
against
numbers.
Power 5.
Oh,
although it's Rutgers, right?
Well, I mean,
Rutgers.
They were the first college football program in all college football on 1869, but I mean, that's all they got. I mean,
it's all they got. Well, they got that, and they got Shiano, which I like Shiano, but they also have one of the best calls ever in a game where they had a kicker, and I wish I could remember his name, Jeremy Ito. That was his name, and they made a kick. Was it over South Florida when they were ranked number 2?
Yes,
I can't remember.
It was on October 2007 on Thursday Night Football on ESPN with Chris Fowler on the call.
I forgot you have that autism with that. That's awesome, dude. No, honestly, I don't know if you really have autism, but it's just a funny way of putting it. Yeah, Jerry, and then the call was, it's Mike Tirico. It's pandemonium in Piscataway. I'll never forget that. That was pretty cool. And they had the big boom camera swinging around. That was a cool call, man. But obviously, the Mountaineers not empty-handed in this game either, Jackson.
Oof, no, because I mean they got some great players. I mean, like Cam Vaughn, I cannot wait to see him again. Like it's gonna be awesome seeing him. Just go against that Ohio secondary. Like I can't wait to
He
see what
already
he's
tore him
going to
up
bring.
in the Cure Bowl.
Oh yeah, he's huge. I mean, I'm not going against him. And like the QB, we've got for Nico, like his last name, I forget how to pronounce it, but
Marchio. It's
Marchio.
Marchio. Yeah, a lot of people want to say Marchiol, but if you actually go back and look at Nico's X account in 2021, he posted it's pronounced Mark EO. So
Marchio.
yeah, it's just like an Italian. Yeah. So I'm guilty of it too. I only found this out a week ago and I've known him for years. So
No.
not personally. I mean, I've spoken to him, but like I've known him at West Virginia for years, right? I thought it was Marchiol, right? Because that's how it looks on the jersey. It's actually Marchio. So it's going to be hard for me to get used to saying it that way. But so you thought he looked pretty good? Obviously, he had a 93.5 Pro Football Focus score in week
Oh,
one.
it's humongous. That's
Yeah.
huge. Like I want a guy like that by my side.
For sure. Yeah, I think he's been loyal to the program as well. I mean, Nico Marchio is definitely a guy that a lot of fans are rooting for to succeed. I've said this multiple times, Jackson. Personally, if you're asking me, I wasn't always sure if he was QB1 in the offseason. I admitted that openly. I said I wasn't sure if it should be him. I wasn't sure if it should be somebody else. I mean, we brought in all kinds of guys, obviously. But at the end of the day, man, I know it would be best for the program if he would win and be good because he's been loyal. I think he'll stay if he is good, rather than be poached away like maybe another guy would, whether that's Jalen Henderson or Max Brown or whoever. I mean, you look at it from that perspective and it's like, okay, like I can get down with the guy that's down for me. Like at least he wants to be here. In a lot of cases, you don't got that, right? Some guys always looking for the next step up, Jackson. So I know you don't have a lot of that at Alabama because there really is no upward trajectory after Alabama. But for me, it's if Nico can be good in Morgantown, it's the best of both worlds because he wants to be here. He enjoys representing the state of West Virginia. He chose to come here out of high school over Florida State. Sorry. So he's a big one. Obviously, Cam Vaughn is the other piece of the offense. West Virginia was really vanilla in that game purposefully. So I think we're going to see a lot more, probably the other third of the playbook come out against Ohio.
Oh man, it's gonna be humongous. Like it's gonna be an underrated matchup for the college football landscape. I know I've got my eye on West Virginia, Ohio, and all of you listening on Locked On West Virginia, you should too. Whether you're a West Virginia fan or not a West Virginia fan, you should have your eye on this game. That's for sure.
Absolutely, man. So, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you. Did you say there was a couple other Ohio guys you were looking at?
Oh yeah, like I've been looking at some of the Ohio guys as well, like because like something I've been thinking about from the Rutgers game, where I was looking at Chase Hendricks, who had 115 receiving yards and 9 receptions against Rutgers. I mean, that's not a guy whose bad side I want to be going up against. And you got Bangura, one of the running backs from Ohio.
Yeah,
he had a great ground game for 86
he's
yards.
good.
And another thing I was thinking about with Navarro was the fact that he had like not only 239 passing yards against Rutgers, but good grief, he had 93 rushing yards against like 1 rushing touchdown, 9 carries. Like that's not a guy whose bad side I want to be going against. Like I
mean he's definitely dangerous.
Oh man, it feels like we're going to be seeing a shootout between both these quarterbacks on Saturday.
I'll be interested to see if it is. I really want to see. It would make me so happy if West Virginia would just come out and lock these boys down because obviously at Jack State last year they didn't have the defense to do it. And so Ohio won a shootout in the Cure Bowl, which Jacksonville State had to come back in. Rich Rod didn't coach in that game. It was the first game after the West Virginia announcement. So they had the offensive coordinator called the game, and then he ended up going to Marshall. But yeah, so I did a show yesterday, Jackson, about this, but speaking to a couple of Ohio guys yesterday about this game, and they're salty because Cam Vaughn put up 180 on him in the bowl game last year. Yeah. So like a couple of them felt like it's one of those things, like I was trying to explain it to people on there. It's like, yeah, we won the game, because a few people were asking me, like, upset about what? They won the game. Like, why would they care? Why is there a grudge? Well, if you're guarding a guy, he gets 180 yards, but you win the game, do you feel like you helped?
Oh, man.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of how they felt. I think it was a couple guys rotating on him because he was doing so much. And then the other side, we had another guy, Gerard Bowie, who had 104 yards in the game as well. So, it's one of those things where it's like there are kind of a little miniature grudge match within the game here, which we kind of talked about yesterday. So it's going to be a fun one, man. I appreciate your insights on it. Obviously, we're going to have more on that here in a minute. But before we do, we're going to pick some games, man. Week 2 is going to be a fun week of college football. We got a lot of Big 12 games to talk about, man. We'll do it next right here in Locked On West Virginia with Jackson Johnson. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by our friends over at DoorDash. And unfortunately, I had to get rid of my DoorDash habit. And this is the truth. It's almost the weekend. Time to look back and crown this week's MVP. Who delivered? Powered by DoorDash. Well, just like you can win every Saturday with DoorDash streaks, saving more every time you order, these players delivered when it mattered most. So let's break it down. Obviously, for West Virginia, I have to go with Cam Vaughn. He delivered in a big way. We weren't sure if he was going to be wide receiver number 1. And although we expected him to be, we weren't sure if he was going to be. He's automatically already that. So really happy to see that. Obviously, the catch from Nico Marchiol was huge, over the shoulder, big bomb in that game. Let us know he could take top off the defense. There was no hesitation. There was no delay. When you look at Fred Perry on the defensive side, but Hammond Russell, I have to go with on the defensive side of the ball. And if you've been watching week after week, I don't think this performance is going to be a fluke for either guy. And so this is going to be really fun, guys, to keep it up and see, because with DoorDash streaks, you save every Saturday you order. So stack up all season, and you can save up to $250, included $100 in DoorDash credits. Order this Saturday. Keep the streak alive. Fuel your game day only with DoorDash, where the terms apply, and it's going to be good through 11/18. And, of course, we can't forget our friends over at Mazda as well. Listen, when it's talking about Mazda, are you still paying? Oh, that's the wrong one. Mazda crafts cars for those who choose to do more than simply move. They follow what moves them every time they drive. And that's what makes Mazda stand out. They go beyond safety, style, and performance to deliver a driving experience that feels alive in every detail. It offers more than safety. It's one more than you can even know. And in the 2025 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus Awards, they won more of those than anybody else. So it's really the small details that can make big plays. And just like there's more to every player, there's more to every Mazda vehicle. So do it at Mazda today, where you can move and be moved. It's segment 2. Let's crack open a do, Jackson, as we talk a little bit about week 2 games, man. We got a lot on the slate to check out today. We'll just go down the list here. I had a list written out, but it kind of got messed up through the AI thing. So we're just going to go.
Never rely on AI for college football, because they know nothing about college football.
Well, I was just trying to get it to give me the top games of the week, and it just can't even do that. So I think one of the more underrated, intriguing games of the weekend is Baylor versus SMU. Obviously, Baylor ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw against Auburn in week 1. And so in SMU, obviously coming off a playoff appearance last year, super mobile quarterback that I really like a lot. But Sawyer Robertson had 400 yards passing in week 1.
Yeah, I mean, if Baylor wants to have a really good year, they have to win against SMU on the CW because, like, the September slate is going to be rough for the Bears right there. And as for SMU, they're looking to prove that, hey, last year was not a fluke. Our second year in the ACC is going to be awesome, just like it was in our first year. Rhett Lashley is getting things rocking and rolling. And if Dave Aranda, like, he has to make sure the Baylor Bears get this victory on the road, because if they don't, we can go back to seeing hot seat talks for Dave Aranda for 2025 if they are not having a good year.
You know, one thing I watched some of the SMU game, and Jennings looked amazing. He's a great player. But you know, their defense gave up 350 yards to an unknown team, really. I mean, who is Texas A&M Commerce, right? Like, I mean, they didn't really do much in this term in the scoreboard side of things, but I mean, they gave up over 100 rushing yards, almost 300 passing yards. Baylor's a much more talented team, obviously, and I think this is a game that could definitely be a fun game to watch. Could be a shootout. Who you got in this game?
Well, I've got the SMU Pony Express Mustangs for this one. I think it's going to be a 31-24 victory over Baylor on the CW network.
I'm going to go with Baylor. I think they get it because they've had such high expectations coming into this year. Dave Aranda, it's either now or never with him. He's either got to win now or never, and this is a big game. You just got to win. You know, I mean, I'm sorry, but I have no sympathy because Neil Brown for 4 years, for 5 years, whatever it was, we had to open up with 2 Power 5 games like a couple different years, right? So we know what this is like. And, you know, we opened up with Penn State and Pitt last year. They're opening up with Auburn and now SMU. It's tough sledding. I mean, but, you know, you scheduled it. You know, you've had time to get them off the schedule. You're still doing it. So here we are. Let's move over to a Big 12, Big 10 shootout type game with Iowa and Iowa State. The Fighting Rocco Becks are going to be at home against the
Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah, Rocco's Modern Life. This is the Cy-Hawk game. Obviously, this is going to be a super interesting game in the Big 12, no doubt about it. Obviously, Iowa coming off just a dominating performance over Albany where they looked really good. Mark Gronowski, the quarterback, looked really good. Xavier Williams, running back, looked really good in that game. But they go up against Rocco Becht and company, who have been they've been good for quite a few years now. Matt Campbell has this program rolling, and they're coming off one of the biggest wins they've had. Well, I mean, in week 1 over Kansas State.
Well, you know, like, here's a little fact for Iowa State, for those that are tuning in this game. The last time Iowa State has beaten Iowa was in Iowa City and Ames, Iowa, was in 2011, September 10th of 2011. I should know that because I was seeing like score updates when I was watching Auburn force a goal line stand on Mississippi State on SEC Network on Channel 54 on September 10th of 2011. That was a wild one right there. And ever since then, when you see Iowa State defeating the Iowa Hawkeyes, you've been watching them beat Iowa in Iowa City in 2012, in 2014, 2022, and last year with Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson on the call with a game-winning field goal. And if they can get a victory in Iowa City, it'll be a humongous win. And plus, if Iowa is winning tomorrow against Iowa State, Kurt Ferentz breaks Woody Hayes' record for winning as coach in Big Ten history.
That's huge news. Yeah, that's huge. I didn't know that.
But he doesn't have a Big Ten, but he doesn't have a Rose Bowl, and all his Big Ten titles are shared.
Right. Yeah, he's no Woody Hayes. Let's not get that twisted. But I mean, to be the all-time winningest coach in the conference is something, right? Who you got in this game? This is a really interesting game.
I want to go with Iowa State, but reluctantly, I have to go with Iowa, and it's going to be a 24-21 victory in Iowa City on Big Noon kickoff on Fox with Gus Johnson on the call.
We're directly opposed to one another one again. Maybe I'm Big 12 homer in this, but
That's okay.
I mean, some part of me wonders because obviously, Coach Heacock and the Cyclones run that 3-3-5 stack defense, and Heacock has been really the best coach in the country at coaching it, especially in the Big 12 over the last few years. I mean, Iowa has been carried by that defense. So, I mean, it's literally a staple of theirs now, kind of like how we were in the early 2000s with Tony Gibson and other people. So I get it. It's a good defense, but against good running teams, it can be exposed because it's a 3 down front, right? So, I think when you go odd fronts and power running teams, it can get dicey. I'm still going to go with Iowa State here, but I am worried about this game. I think Iowa's a good football team. But, if Iowa State's defense does what it did in week 1 against a very good Kansas State team in Avery Johnson, good luck,
man.
sweetheart, for the Cyclones, because that defense is for real. And Matt Campbell has to get poached at some point.
Oh, man. Like, bro, if Iowa State wins this game against Iowa,
Playoffs,
do not
right?
be surprised if this can get Iowa State to the playoffs with or without a Big 12 title game, because at some point you're going to see Iowa upset somebody in the top 25. It could be like a Penn State. It could be an Oregon. It could be Indiana on September of 27th. Do not be surprised that happens, because Kinnick Stadium is scary. It is
scary,
haunting place for top 25 teams in all of college football.
It's a tough spot to play. Yeah, it's definitely tougher than probably any Big 12 venue, I would imagine. And that's saying something. But I mean, I give Kinnick its full due. It's that good. I think Carson Hansen makes a big impact in this game, the big running back for Iowa State. I really like him a lot. If they can protect Rocco, I think he'll do good, but we'll see. I like Iowa State. All right. Next up on the list of games this weekend, and we've got a few more interesting ones to talk about, but South Florida and Florida is a game, obviously, I want to get to in a minute. But where was the other Big 12 game? I'm looking over one, ain't I?
I think it's Kansas, Missouri.
Kansas, Missouri. There it is.
I feel like a kid at a candy store with all these rivalry games in week 2. I mean, it's like 14 years since Kansas, Missouri was back. And I got to be honest, like when I found out that this game was coming back, I was playing the Peanuts music when I heard about this game coming back.
I'm getting all your references.
There you go, man. Oh, man. But it's like Missouri can't check it out of this one, because they were checking it out of the 2022 Liberty Bowl when Reddit College Football said, hey, let's have Kansas, Missouri. Missouri's like, no. Hence why you saw Kansas, Arkansas in 2022 Liberty Bowl.
That's tomorrow at 3:30. Obviously, you got Kansas, who played 2 games already, which is pretty cool. Obviously, they destroyed Fresno, and then they destroyed Wagner on a Friday night game. So they get an extra day to prepare. I guess that's something. Jelon Daniels is off to an incredible start. Another Heisman-esque start for him from a numbers perspective. They've got Daniel Highshaw still rolling there. Seems like these players have been there for literally ever. I mean, I'm not even exaggerating this. It feels like Jelon Daniels specifically has been at Kansas for 5-6 years now. It's the day and age we're in. Missouri, we're not sure who they are yet. Obviously, they beat Central Arkansas in week 1 in a 61-6 game, and they've got Bo Pribula, the Penn State transfer quarterback, and he looked really good at times in that game. 283 yards on 23 of 28 passing. And then if you look at the rushing yards, he was right there on that as well. He had a couple really big runs in the game, and he had 65 yards on the ground. Who do you like in this game? Obviously, Kansas is a super explosive squad, but the Missouri Tigers are coming off one of their best seasons ever.
I want Kansas to win this one, but reluctant.
Picking against another Big 12 team, I'm sensing some bias.
Nope. No bias for me, but I'll be pulling for Kansas on this one, good buddy. That I can promise you. I feel like it's going to be a tight one. It's going to be a 27-24 victory from the Missouri Tigers. Because I was flipping, flopping, doing the coin toss over this one, to be honest.
I'm not just saying this. I really feel like Kansas is a better football team. I watched the first quarter of that Central Arkansas and Missouri game. And Missouri got off to a slow start in that game, believe it or not. They must have turned it on in the next 3 quarters because it was – let me look at that box score because after the first quarter, it was like – it was close, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was 9-0 after the first quarter. Obviously, but Central Arkansas was moving the ball too at times. But, I mean, obviously Missouri didn't let them in the end zone. Then they just took off 17-14, 21 in the fourth, dominating performance. But – I saw some chinks in the armor there. Marquise Johnson looked really good. Ahmad Hardy looked good. But, I really think Kansas is able to beat them. I do. I'm not just saying that because of Big 12. So. I really think Kansas can win this game. It's on the road. That's the only part of this that makes me worry. But I will pick Kansas. I'll be a Big 12 homer. But, I mean, it's not like these are bad Big 12 teams that I'm picking with here. We're talking about Iowa State. We're talking about Kansas. So, both of these teams, I think, are well, definitely Iowa State, but I think Kansas is probably a fringe top 25 team anyway. So it's going to be interesting.
Man, it's going to be awesome seeing them come back in the top 25. And if Jalen Daniels can continue to be healthy for a full season, you're really going to see some magic from the Kansas Jayhawks. Kind of like how we saw in late November of last year and what you're seeing early this year.
Agreed. Let's go to break really quick. We'll come right back. We'll pick a couple other games, and we'll get your Ohio, West Virginia pick as well. We'll be right back, guys. It's Locked On West Virginia. And, of course, this episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by our friends over at Upside. And we're talking about Upside on this one because if you drive and you pay for gas, are you still paying full price for gas? Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time and fill up free with Upside's app. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play Store now and start earning cash at the pump today. Use my limited time promo code FOOTBALL and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up, where you could make up to $300 a year just from buying the gas you already needed. At first, I thought it was too good to be true, but it's actually totally legit. Real people getting paid real money just to make their real daily commutes, and so can you. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, e-gift card, Amazon, and other brands. So don't let this offer drive by. Download the free Upside app today and use my limited time promo code FOOTBALL for a limited time 25% per gallon bonus. That's promo code FOOTBALL. Only at Upside. And, of course, our friends over at FanDuel are also going to be here with us today. We talk about FanDuel on this one. We like FanDuel. The NFL season's almost here. FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your $5 bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. That's pretty dang good if you do say so myself. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup. It's quick, easy, best way to add a little more energy to Saturdays or Sundays if that's what you need. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app today by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com. That's the place to place your first $5 bet. Back with the amazing, the stupendous, the omnipotent, the memory of all memories, Jackson Johnson. Tell everybody where they can find you, what you got going on, man, before we move on here.
Well, they can find me on Alabama at The Voice College Football, on Alabama Voice College Football with Coach Smith Hines and Jeffrey. Only talks sports, where he talks sports every single day, or at least he tries to. And they can check me out on Jackson Johnson 979 on my personal YouTube channel, where I host my show, The Jacksonian, and I do my other shows, Pits Analysis and The Final Whistle with Sports Talk with Austin Williams.
So that's obviously a play off the Smithsonian.
I didn't even think about it like that. I was based off like a close relative called me Jacksonian at one point.
It's because you got a memory. That's why. So it's probably they were referencing the Smithsonian. That's why.
Oh, nice. But of course,
because you've got such a good memory with I was shocked the first time I heard you start spitting out all these on this person's on the call. I'm like, is that just something from memory, or is that something you've dedicated to memorize, or what?
I've dedicated it, man. It's like I was
So
thinking
you
everybody
actually
would
go out of your
remember it.
way to memorize that stuff, and you don't. Okay, because
It's my job to.
some people just retain it. You know what I mean? Like I'm one of those people where I just retain knowledge. Some people actually study. I'm more of a little bit of both. But anyways, back to some of these games here. Let's get back to a couple games we didn't get to earlier. Did we get all the Big 12 games out of the way?
We didn't get Arizona State, Mississippi State.
Arizona State, Mississippi State. That's another big one because
You'll
it's
be
an
happy with my
SEC.
pick on that one. That I can promise you.
Well, this is another SEC Big 12 shootout kind of deal. Obviously, Arizona State is coming off just a magical season, to say the very least. Oh yeah, we got to do Oklahoma State and Oregon as well.
You won't like my pick on that one, unfortunately.
Well, we'll get there, but obviously, is there any way Arizona State screws this thing up?
There are some ways where Mississippi State will win this one, but there is always going to be some ways Arizona State wins this one. But I think Arizona State will do just fine against Mississippi State.
Yeah, this is a game that's going to be super late, super late. Now, I will say this. I watched Mississippi State in the first game against Southern Miss because I had an interest because Coach Huff came over from Marshall. I was curious to see how their players integrated into the Southern Miss, to see how they looked. You know what I mean? So Braylon Braxton's basically the Southern Miss's everything player, and they got Pittman at receiver over there. But anyways, we're talking about Mississippi State. And I'll tell you what, man, Blake Shapen, the quarterback from Mississippi State, can sling it around. We know about him from his Baylor time. Look out for Blake Shapen in this game. He can absolutely play, guys, no doubt about it. And then I'd be, remiss if I didn't mention, I mean, come on now. Everybody knows about the Arizona State squad. I mean, they lost one of the best running backs in all of college football, right?
Oh, man, I sobbed like a baby when Cam Scabo left, but that's okay. I get to see him on some pro football on Sundays.
That's true. Yeah, that's definitely true.
I can't wait to see what Chris Berman's nickname will be on NFL Primetime on ESPN Plus when I watch it on my phone.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on this game, man?
Well, key to victory is make sure like Sam Leavitt is having a great passing game because that's going to be huge right then and there. And, Mississippi State, they're going to have to really make sure they just sling it. They just got to do what they did against Mississippi State. Just keep rolling, rocket and roll. Make sure Shapen is just getting to rolling against that Sun Devil defense.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed, man. But I will say, Sam Leavitt's a monster, no doubt about it. I mean, he's a very good player. I won't say he came out of nowhere, but he definitely didn't. I don't think anybody expected him to be what he became last year, and he was so good. But Tyson at receiver can also really go. It's going to be an interesting game, man. Obviously, I'm picking, no doubt about it, Arizona State. Yeah, Arizona State in this game. So I like them by about 6 points or so. I think they'll definitely get it done. But Mississippi State's dangerous in this game. I do think they can win this game if they're not if Arizona State's not on top of it.
Oh, it's going to be an Arizona State 31-24 victory against the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Okay. One of the more lopsided results most people were predicting in week 1 is 2 1-0 teams, Oregon versus Oklahoma State. Obviously, I mean, look, man, Oklahoma State, nobody knows if they're back yet. Obviously to what Mike Gundy had them in the past. We know about Oregon. Do we know about Dante Moore, the 5-star quarterback? We know about Malik Benson. We know about Noah Whittington. Like, they've got an absolute ridiculous offense over there. And you're on the road. It's just such a tough thing to ask of anybody to go do, to go get a win in Alton Stadium.
Oh man, it's like if Oklahoma State can pull off an upset in Autzen Stadium, you know that Phineas and Ferb revival where you're hearing the summer is starting right now to start off the revival of that show. Well, that perfectly describes the Oklahoma State Cowboys. If they can magically pull off the upset over
It
the
would be
Oregon
amazing.
Donald Duck, oh man, it'd be
It'd put the Big
huge.
12 on the map if you could get these other wins too, right?
Oh, no doubt about
But
that. I
and they
mean,
lost
like,
Haas Haney in week 1. That really sucks because Haas Haney is such a good player. 4-3 guy, quarterback. You don't get those very often. Unfortunately, he goes out in the first couple plays of that game or whatever. So Zane Flores will back him up. Although it was a close competition, I'm told Caleb Hicks can play. They got Davis at receiver too, I believe is his name. I have to go look, but yeah, I definitely like Oregon in this game. I mean, I there's no way I could pick Oklahoma State to win this game, and I think Oregon is the top 5 team for sure, and definitely one of the 4 best playoff from week 1. Based off week 1, I was impressed with Oregon. All right, so we've got one more
yeah,
game to pick,
yeah,
obviously, man.
Oregon wins
Oh,
35-17
yeah,
against
I didn't get
Oklahoma
your pick.
State.
My bad.
That's okay.
35-17. Yeah, I think that's probably a fair score. It's going to
I
be
can't
tough.
wait to see some Hicks though from OK
I'll tell you
State.
what, the back and forth between Gundy, it's been so funny between the two coaches, man. Like it's just been one thing after another between Lanning and Gundy. It's been such a funny, Gundy saying they pay too much for their players. Gundy's, he's saying it's just been so funny to watch, but we'll see if that puts any added
He's a
motivation on the
man. He's
score for this game.
58.
Did you see the new commercial he did?
Oh man, I forgot what it was. I've checked that
It was
out.
it was like a cell phone commercial or something like that. But he was like, "I'm a man." Yeah, instead of "I'm a man, I'm 40," he did his real age and everything in it.
That's
But
funny.
yeah, it's so funny. But anyways, last pick of the day, West Virginia Mountaineers go on the road to Athens in one of the most underrated Big 12 showdowns of the weekend. The Mountaineers, most are calling this a trap game. Others are saying it's a look ahead spot. A lot of people say the West Virginia Mountaineers are going to lose, believe it or not. What say you, Jackson Johnson?
No, West Virginia wants to win this one. I mean, the fan base, like you were talking about a little while ago, start off the show. Like the fan base is showing up all over the place at Ohio to watch this game, to go to this game. They're rocking, they're rolling. I
Yep.
mean, you got Nico, you got Cam Vaughn, you got all these guys at West Virginia. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be close. I mean, Ohio might win the war for a little bit, but West Virginia's going to win it for good. Like, I mean, I meant to say win the battle, but West Virginia wins the war. And I think it's going to be a 31-21 victory by the West Virginia Mountaineers.
I'll take that considering Ohio's won 34 games over the last or whatever it is, 3 years. I mean, they've been really good. They won 10 or more, 3 in a row. They got the same quarterback back from an 11-win season last year. They got a lot of their weapons back. Almost new offensive line. I think this is where the game's going to be won at the line of scrimmage. The West Virginia offensive line cannot repeat its performance against Robert Morris in the first quarter. Five fumbles, three in the first quarter, I think. You can't do that against Ohio, or there's just no way you can win a game for 5 fumbles. Obviously, we don't want to set the season up for that. Hopefully, it's just a one-off. A thing can become a thing for a team. Like this team throws too many interceptions. This is a fumbling problem. You got a drop problem or something like that. We don't want that to happen. I'm sure they worked on it. That all said, I'm picking Ohio, man. I'm picking Ohio to lose this game.
Let's go.
Obviously, I've gone back and forth on the scores for this one. A small part of me, because of some of the things that have been said, and this fan base, we all trust Rich Rod so much, but it is year 1, so it's not like he has full grasp and control on everything yet. That's the only part of this that worries me. If it was year 3 of a Rich Rod led team, I would be 100% sure that we win this game. That's just what he does at West Virginia, especially. Since it's in week one, it's in year one, 80 new players, the whole thing, the most in college football. Upsets can happen. And I am a little worried about this game. I've said it all week. I still pick West Virginia to win it. I've got us winning the game 31-21 as well. And I think, I would love to see us put up a few more points and maybe hold them under 10 or something just to have some confidence going into Pitt. But as we know, Jackson, and we got to get off here after this, but game day is hanging in the balance for this as a prize for us. And, it's something that just doesn't come around for the Big 12 and especially West Virginia anymore. You're talking about setting up a top 5 all-time game next week in Morgantown if you can get this one.
Ooh, there we go. Let's go.
So, yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. Hey, Robert, if you want to try it, brother, grab a microphone and start recording, man. At the end of the day, you can only use the words that are coming to your brain when they're coming to your brain. So, if I say obviously too many times, then pretty obvious thing of you to type. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, I'm like worried about this game. I think we'll be all right. I do. It's going to be tough. It's our first road game, 81 new guys, but we have to trust Rich Rod, and I'm trying to do that. So
I think West Virginia's going to be more than all right with Rich Rod. I mean, you're not going to be seeing the Neil Brown era anymore. No worries there, good buddy. That I can promise.
That's for sure, man. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all for joining in on this one. If you didn't tell you earlier, it's time for another big moment on Locked On and college football fans. Locked On and Fire TV present College Football Kickoff, your ultimate college football weekly preview, where Drake Toll of Locked On Big 12 leads the conversation along two-time AP Coach of the Year, Gary Patterson, college football star Jesse Holley, and Locked On's local experts, where a college football preview only Locked On can do. And you can catch your college football kickoff every Thursday throughout the season, and you can do it only on Fire TV. All right, guys, for Jackson, for me, we'll see you guys tomorrow post-game after Athens goes down. You don't want to miss it. See you then.